All right, today is October 2nd, I believe. It's a Thursday. I did not take any trades today. I'm going to go over what I was seeing and what I was looking at. Um, Yesterday, October 1st, regular trading hours, we had a strong trend day to the upside, left behind a poor high, cleaned up in the overnight. Overnight also continued to trend up, left behind a lot of single prints here, some low volume nodes in here. I'm not too concerned about these because it's overnight. But in situations like this, when we have a strong trend day, we have an imbalance. I'm watching the high and then the previous day close, which is right here. And then vice versa, if we had a strong trend day to the downside, I'm watching the low and then still the close. So I had the high marked out, which also coincides with the value area high, the close kind of by the VPOC. But we also had a poor overnight low, which was my main target on the day, which is what I wanted to take shorts to. There were probably a few okay entries, nothing amazing by my standards. Maybe it's just a lapse in judgment, but nothing I was too concerned, like nothing that like stood out to me. I mean, I could have taken them, but it's just about being profitable in a long term, and you're not going to be if you start taking okay setups, and you just got to focus on the great setups. So maybe they were good setups. Maybe that was just an error on my side. But anyways, I'll go over that. So here are my levels: the poor low, yesterday high, these two single prints. These were, I don't think there was anything there. And then I marked out kind of these high volume areas. 'Cause there was a shelf here, some shelves down there. So I had those marked out. So at pre-market, there was a very nice short setup right here. So the overnight was also pretty much net long. We traded a few TPOs below. I would consider that net long. So expect a short correction. And the order flow was saying shorts as well because we had 281 contracts, 70 contracts. I didn't take this. I mean, I guess mentally I did. I took it on like a practice account, but I'm not calling that. I took it on a practice account and then I took profits at the high. But I've just been burnt too many times on pre-market trades. Maybe that's just something that comes with experience. I would take these more often, but this was a good setup. I would take this every day, especially because we had this, the finished auction. We didn't trade any higher and we moved down. So this was 100% a good short setup to take, but I've just been burnt too many times. So I didn't take it. There were no entries here on these single prints, I don't think. So I'm just going to remove these. Maybe you could call that. We break down. Obviously, we're selling down to the high. We sell down to the high. We don't get any good entries here. Maybe that's not good enough for me, in my opinion. This, I would have taken this. This wasn't a finished auction, though. I kind of like to see a finished auction, but if you took that anyway, it would have been good for 20 points. Would have been good for more. We come up to this ledge. I didn't take this because I didn't even have the ledge marked out until like right here. So I didn't take this because I didn't have it marked out until like a few seconds later. This was a good setup though. If you wanted to take that, it would have been good. And then we finally break down into the high, and so then I was looking for a retest of the high to get short to the poor low. There's nothing here. I didn't care for any of these. Then we come down to the close. We're holding at the close. This thin little gray line right here. We hold nicely at the close. Come back up. No retest at the high for me. We come back into this balance. Nothing I'm interested in. Come back down. We're still holding at the close. Or you can see there's a lot of activity here at the close. We come back up. I'm not too interested in this because we have a zero print here. Normally these get filled. It got filled. Could have entered here. Probably would have been a stop. I'm not too sure. But I wouldn't have taken this because I'd like to see the ledge get tapped. But the ledge gets tapped here. This would have been a good entry, but it was an unfinished auction, as you can see, 23.13. If it was finished, I probably would have taken that. We come up, we creep out of balance under this shelf. There's a shelf right here. Nothing I'm interested in. Unfinished auction. Nothing here. Again, we're holding down here. Lots of buyers down here holding this. Come up to the ledge. Nothing at this ledge, or maybe it was a shelf. It was a shelf. Anyways, nothing here that I liked. We come up to VWAP. Oops. We come up to VWAP. This was decent. I liked this. We had the finished auction. But then we had this zero print. If that zero print weren't there, I would have 100% taken this because this was a very clean setup. Nice delta flip. We traded one print higher, finished the auction. We got exhaustion here as well. Would have been a very nice setup, but that's what I was saying. Maybe this was a lapse in judgment. Maybe I should have taken it. But with the zero print, these tend to get filled in very quickly. So, it's just a playing for the long term, trying to be sustainable. So I didn't take that. We come back up, slightly interested in here. Maybe this is where I just made a dumb decision. I didn't take any of these because I saw some orders up here. So, maybe it was a dumb decision. I should have taken this. This was a very clean setup, finished auction. At the VWAP, it would have been good for 20 points. You would have been sitting in it for a minute. But still, clean setup here. We have this. We come up, we finish it. Volume dies out. Could have taken something here. Again, this not a finished auction. Maybe another lapse in judgment plus a zero print. Maybe I should have taken it. I like to see the finished auction because more often than not they get ran out. So, but this was a good setup. I just didn't take it. Nothing too interesting here. But then we break through the shelf. Lots of activity down here. Nothing there. And then we get a large order that came in right here. I was contemplating taking this. I actually almost did take it, but I just didn't. I don't know. I was just too hesitant. And then at this rate, it was just looking very dull and chopping around. So a lot of times when I see these big orders, sometimes they get ran out. So I probably should have taken it. I guess that's just hindsight speaking, but it was a clean setup and it delivered to the port low. And then I called it because I did not really want any longs off of here. Plus, it's an unfinished auction. I didn't care for the longs. If anything, I would have been waiting for a breakdown, breakthrough, retest, use this as resistance, and then move lower to take the single prints. That obviously didn't happen. So that was the recap for today. Maybe I missed some setups. I probably should have taken them, but in the moment, it's hard to say when you're in the moment. So that's kind of goes back to what I'm saying about back testing is everything looks beautiful in back testing, but in the moment I just didn't care for them. Maybe I should have, but I'm not too upset because I live to see another day and I'm not down any money. So